going on? Um, so I'm seeing this stuff online. Channel I watch, Earl Grey, a couple others, but he's in St. Petersburg, I believe. Anyway, so a lot of these soldiers in the Ukraine, because they're running out of able-bodied men, are actually UN soldiers who've resigned and then joined the foreign service of Ukraine, right? And so Putin has called in the reservists, right? Like I think something like 300,000 people, because he's not an idiot, so he's seen who is fighting, in the Donbass, that northeastern region there, that they won back some territory, right? And so he's not a moron, his soldiers and lieutenants and all of them are all telling him, hey, these are well-trained people. These aren't pig farmers and the people that they're recruiting up the street. And it's so funny. I see a lot of people saying, oh, well, Putin's just rounding every male up and forcing them into the military. I mean, they got a lot of volunteers from Chechnya. What's the other place? Dagestan. And, so there's 30 regions of Russia, and each one of them has 2,600 or 3,000, obligation to put in that many reservists, And so since they got pushed back in Ukraine, now he's like, fuck that, we're going to go all out, because I think they had 150 or 180,000, somewhere under 200,000 troops in the special military operations, And so I just think it's ridiculous, but I've seen people say, that about Putin, that he's rounding kids up in the street and blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. And isn't that exactly what, that's the Western mainstream media telling you this shit, right? Because that's what Ukraine just did, right? Remember? You couldn't leave the country if you were 65 or younger and male, right? Then they were pulling, females, women, young women, and children and old men now, and so they don't have, the sustainability of all these people. A lot of people fled as well. So, to say that, that's what Russia's doing. It's not looking like it from the news, but that their news is slanted their way, just like our news is slanted our way. So you got to kind of find it in the middle. I'm sure they're rounding up some motherfuckers like, hey, you going, and the UN soldiers, they're the ones fighting, and how come there's no footage? You know what I mean? They got no press embedded with these soldiers, right? And embedding press is shitty anyway, because then the press is relying on the soldiers for their protection, so they feel obligated to not talk shit or report on certain things. You know what I mean? Because you might not show up back at base again, right? Oh shit, he got shot. I don't know what happened. Something. And so but anyway, they're not allowing any press in. None. You can go to Kiev or whatever the fuck they call it, and you can film the parties. Well, not really. They're stopping that now too, right? They're stopping people from filming the parties that are going on. And, I don't blame them. You're a war-torn country, and that's one of the major cities that's not being bombarded yet. And so, party while you can, right? I just think, what's that video? Don't you find it suspicious? Don't you find it suspicious? But that's what's going through Putin's head, and all the shit that they're saying now about, nothing's off the table, and if you start hitting the homeland and blah, 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 blah. He's not a moron. The people who are on the ground there, they see the difference between the troops that they were just fighting and this new, and of course we're using our intelligence to help them. So that's the only reason why they put that offensive on that was successful in many ways, right? But there again, a lot of those towns and stuff, there was nothing strategic there, so they didn't have much of a presence there anyway. So people, they're like, hey, pull back. We got to recalibrate, and then they're going to come back. You know what I mean? I mean, think about it. If they send even half, 150,000 men, I mean, you got Chechenian soldiers and what's it, Dagestan or something like that, Dagestan, something like that, right? Dagestan, I think. And like these are hardened troops, you know. People are like, oh well, the warlord might be just rounding them up. Maybe, but these dudes know how to fight, and they've been fighting for some time, you know. So I mean, I'm curious to see what happens next. I really hope it doesn't escalate anymore. I don't understand what America's. Oh, I do. I understand that, you know, what was it called? Hegemony. We're trying to preserve the American hegemony on the world, you know. Like I said in other videos, you know, maybe being a superpower in the 21st century's got to be a little different, right? Way more tactical than these outward proxy wars, and then not so proxy anymore. I mean, do we think what because they don't speak English they're stupid? You know, I don't get it, you know. And the press, I mean, just look at the American press saying, oh, Putin's got cancer, he's got this, he's got that, oh, he can't move his arms. I mean, the last couple of days, him out there speaking, he looked pretty fucking healthy to me. I mean, comparatively speaking to our president, you know. And then you got Zelensky, the actor, right? Who used to pretend to be the president, now he's the president. But, you know, they can't be Nazis because he's Jewish. I mean, do you see what I'm saying? Okay, whatever. Enjoy your day, folks. That was just my thoughts on this shit, you know. And you know, I wish they would allow everybody to come to the table and speak about, you know, peace and stop the fighting. I'm anti-war. Excuse me. This is dumb, man. I'm anti-war, and, you know, maybe to a fault, but I just don't understand bombing, killing for peace and cooperation. I don't think it works. Hasn't worked ever. I mean, you could argue World War II, but I mean, America, you know, that's our claim to fame. Oh, World War II, everybody, oh, they won World War II. Motherfuckers, Russia lost 22 million people fighting the Nazis. You think that they're the Nazis? You know, if they're, I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy to me. Like, everybody, not everybody, a lot of people believe in the fucking, the mainstream story from the State Department. We know that the CIA and the FBI and the State Department, they work hand in hand with most journalists, especially mainstream journalists. And if not them personally, the corporation that owns it, you know what I mean? The corporate takeover of America has already happened. The coup happened. And everybody's like, oh, January 6th. The coup happened. Those January 6th motherfuckers, they weren't, what are they going to start doing? Writing bills and passing laws and you know, directing military budgets. No, the coup happened, man. We were taken over by corporations, you know, and we're all getting up, you know, and it doesn't matter. You lean right, you lean left, center, or you hate it all. We all see what's going on. We all see it, right? Whether you believe it's this side or that side who's causing it, right? I believe it's both sides of the same coin causing it. You know, they're the same motherfuckers. But you know, whatever you're more comfortable with. Oh, I love, you know, peace, love, and happiness, and you know, I guess the other one's religion and guns. I don't know. You know, I'm just making it up. But you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what people think, right? Like, oh, it's this or that, or communist or fascist. You know, it's like, we got to stop fighting each other. It's this government, this tyrannical government. You know, you can see what they've done to all of us, and they want us fighting each other. I'm not mad at anybody. You know, even if we have a heated discussion, I'm still not mad at you. I don't hate you. I don't. You know what I mean? In fact, most times I enjoyed the debate, and I learned something, you know, especially if I listened. And that's the other thing. We got to start listening to each other instead of just waiting to speak. But yeah, I mean, be careful. Be careful. I see this escalating, and getting worse and worse and worse. And, it seems like a lot of people are supporting it because, Putin bad and Trump bad, but like Biden's doing the right thing. Really? Really? There's no fucking way that you can truly believe that. There's no fucking way that you truly believe that Kamala Harris can come to the rescue, or Joe Biden, or any of the people that they fucking wheel up on that stage. You know what I mean? What's the other one? Jean-Luc Picard or whatever, the fucking press secretary. I mean, you can't even badmouth her, right? Right? Because she's gay, black, immigrant. Is there anything else? I don't even know. You know what I mean? Like, so if you say anything about her, you're homophobic, you're racist, you don't like women. You get my point. They're manufacturing consent, and a lot of people, they don't have the time that I have on my hands. So they don't look into it. You hear a little thing on Morning Joe or fucking CNN or Fox or, The View, whatever anybody's watching. I don't get how you watch any of that shit. But yeah, I just, it's all leaned one way or the other, and this Russia thing is not good. And Putin knows that we're fighting him in Ukraine. I mean, we have actual soldiers, boots on the ground. Not official American soldiers, right? But they were former UN soldiers or former U.S. military special force, whatever, right? And then, a lot of these guys are career guys, right? But yet, they resigned from their career in the military, right? Or the UN military or whatever it was. And now they volunteered for foreign service in Ukraine. Okay. I mean, again, I said it earlier, I'll say it again. Putin's not a freaking moron. All right, guys, have a great freaking weekend. I'm going to see Coach. Oh, doesn't matter. Have a great weekend. Peace.